And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau. Thy servant Jacob said, Thus have I sojourned with Laban, meaning he was working with Laban, and stayed there until now. Right? Basically, so he's saying to him, look, this is where he's been all this time. Spent 15, 20 years over with Laban's. He was sojourned over there, working over there for 15, 20 years, and now he's going back home, so he has to pass back through his brother's land. Yeah? So we're going to jump down to verse 9. So in chapter 32, verse 9. And Jacob said, O Most High, Yahweh of my father Abraham, and the power of my father Isaac, the Most High which says unto me, Return unto thy country and to thy kindred, I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me and the mother with the children. And thou saidest, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. Verse 13. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother. So he sent some gifts to Esau his brother to pacify him so that he can pass through his land, because he knows the indifference that they had from when his father had given him his birthright and the blessing that went to Jacob. And Esau has never forgiven his brother for that. And like he said that he vows to do away with his brother once his father's passed away. So Jacob is still mindful of this. Remember, this is why his mother sent him away in the first place, right? Anyway, so we're going to go to verse 14. Now verse 13. And he lodged there the same night, and took of them of that which came to his hand at present, a present for Esau his brother, 200 she-goats, and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their colts, 40 kinds, and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses, and 10 fowls. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, Pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. And he commanded the foremost, saying, When Esau my brother seest thee, and asketh thee, saying, Whose art thou, and whither goest thou, and whose art these before thee? Then thou shalt say, They be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau, and behold, also he is behind us. And so commanded he the second and the third, and all that followed the drove, saying, On this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when you find him, and say ye moreover, Behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with the presence that goes before me, and afterwards I will see his face peradventure, and he will accept of me. So went the presence over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. Okay, so we're in Genesis chapter 32, verse 22. And he arose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 woman servants, and his 11 sons, because the 12th son has not been born yet. The baby is Benjamin. Yeah, the last child that just came by was Joseph to Rachel, but the last son is Benjamin, which is going to be born to Rachel. At the moment, Rachel's only got 1 son. Yeah, so this is why it says 11 sons passed over the ford Jabbok, which is a river, and he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent them over he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And as he wrestled with him, and he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High, and with men, and has prevailed. So the angel now has been wrestling with Jacob all night on the brook, has now named him Israel, which means what? Prince of power. So this is where Jacob's name changed from being Jacob to Israel. That's why I had to give you the backdrop of the story of Jacob and his family and so forth and how he got to that point. So now the angel has named him Israel. But remember, these are instructions from the Most High, and we'll get to that point soon so you can see that. Yeah? So verse 28 says, and he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High and with men, and has prevailed. Because he was wrestling with an angel all night. Now for a man to wrestle with an angel, he's got to be somebody special. And the angel acknowledged that and said that you're a prince with power. Hence your name is Israel, which means prince of power. Yeah, in Hebrew. Yeah. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou doest ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen the Most High face to face. I have seen the power face to face, and my life is preserved. And he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. So, now we're going to go down to Genesis chapter 35. Chapter 35, Genesis chapter 35, verse 9. Yeah? Now, and the Most High appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Pandaram, and blessed him. And the Most High said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel, which we just said means prince of power. And the Most High said unto him, this is what I said to the Most High, had already given that orders to the angels that Jacob had wrestled with. They already knew about that, but when Jacob had now had come to force, when Jacob had now come in the presence of the Most High, spiritually, he had told him that your name is no longer Jacob, it is Israel. And the Most High said unto him, I am the Most High Almighty. So he's speaking to him. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy lions. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. And the Most High went up from him in the place where he talked with him. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone. And he poured a drink offering thereon, and he poured oil thereon. And Jacob called the name of the place where the Most High spake with him, Bethel. Yeah? Bethel. B-E-T-H-E-L. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephraim. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labour. So travailed means she was pregnant. When a lady's travailing, she's pregnant. Yeah? And she had hard labour. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labour, that the midwife said unto her, fear not, thou shalt have this son also. Yeah? And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. So basically Rachel died giving birth to Benjamin, which was the last son of the 12 sons that represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Because Jacob had 12 sons and one daughter. The daughter's name was Dinah. Yeah? So this is where we start. So now, the first people that represented Israel were Jacob's 12 sons. They were considered the 12 tribes of Israel. So they were 12 men, not 12 women, 12 men. He had a daughter named Dinah. Now, going back to what I said at the beginning of this lesson, of this documentary, is that These so-called Jewish Eastern European gutterites that are living in Israel today and throughout the world, that are proclaiming to call themselves Jews, all proclaim that to be Jewish, to be a Jew, your mother has to be a Jew. Whereas the 12 tribes of Israel all derived from 12 sons. Now Jacob had a daughter Dinah, but Dinah was not considered one of the tribes. Dinah was not given that precedence to be a head of a tribe, or that a family or a nation of people was going to come from Dinah. That was not put on her. It was put on Jacob's 12 sons. So this is the first chink in their iron of the lies that these so-called Jews are propagating throughout the world today, and that the world just sits down there calmly accepting this bullshit that these so-called Jews are telling you, that for you to be a Jew, that the mother has to be Jewish. Absolute bullshit, and not according to the scriptures, because Jacob had 12 sons and not 12 daughters. So that's the first chink in the iron. We've got many more to go. Yeah? Anyway, and Rachel died and was buried in the way of Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. Okay. And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave, unto this day. And Israel journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Eder. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in the land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. Yeah? The sons of Leah was Reuben, Jacob, his firstborn, yeah? And Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun. Those are Leah's 6 sons. The sons of Rachel, Leah's sister, was Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, that's Rachel's handmaid, was Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, was Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Pandaram. Right. Now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons, right, and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So Jacob has summoned his 12 sons now, right? Gather yourselves together and hear ye, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. So he didn't send for his daughter Dinah. Remember, he had one daughter called Dinah. He didn't send for her, he sent for his 12 sons. Because the 12 sons are the forefathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's nothing to do with who your mother is. And we're going to keep on breaking that down and making you understand that it's one of the biggest lies that these so-called Jewish people that live in Israel today and throughout the 4 corners of the world, these Jewish gutterites that are telling the world that for them to be a Jew, their mum has to be a Jew. It's an absolute lie. And I challenge any rabbi, any scholar, any rabbi against that point. Anyone, I challenge them to that. Verse 3, chapter 49, verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch, because he defiled his father's bench by sleeping with who? Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Oh my soul, I'm not going to break down. I know what these prophecies mean, because I don't want to take too much time. I'm trying to break down what the prophecies mean that was given to Jacob's 12 sons, because it's not about, this lesson is not about the prophecies to his 12 sons. This lesson is about who it is. What does it take to be an Israelite? Yeah? What qualifies you to be an Israelite? Yeah? This is what this lesson is about. It's not by, and it's only by blood. And by what bloodline does it qualify you to be in? Is it by the mothers or by the fathers? Because these so-called Jewish Israelis, gutterites, are telling you it's by the mothers. But the scripture, the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible said at the beginning, which I'm reading now, tells you the complete opposite to what these devils